All right, we pick up today's session on the Navajo, with the Navajo headed towards the fourth planet in an uncharted system within the Gamma Quadrant after picking up a signal from a probe and then suddenly being, ambushed by a Romulan Diderdix class starship. Having made a deal with the Romulan commander, Uh, both vessels are on a course towards the fourth planet as we're going to head towards the bridge of the Navajo.
And this fourth planet is within the nebula, right?
Yeah, the whole system
Okay.
is within this
Whole system's in the nebula.
the dark matter nebula.
Got it.
If I remember correctly, I gave it to Rai, even though she is currently not present. That the effects of the nebula don't um, exist within inside the actual star system itself. It's almost like if the star is pushing the molecules out and sort of like have a little protective bubble.
Hmm. And I think I was going to the transporter room because I was going to beam over with an away team to the satellite. Correct?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. I think. I think last time I think I suggested that Ray come with me, but since Ray's not here, I think it would make more sense for Vogel to come with me.
Works for me.
Anyone else?
I think we. Correct me if I'm wrong, GM. It's a small satellite, so weren't we limited to the number of people that can come over there? I think it was. I want to say it was no more than two, but is it okay to bring three?
Well, the Ramas are beaming over their own team. The probe itself is roughly about the size of, slightly bigger than a runabout. It is a warp probe after all, so it'll have like a lot of the infrastructure needed, to support a long journey,
Mm,
despite being unmanned.
unmanned. If it's a runabout, I'm thinking three might be too much, especially if the Romulans are bringing people over.
No, guys never did a scan on the probe itself, so
Um, you ever did a scan on the probe itself? Oh. All right, I'm gonna say, unless you disagree, Captain, I think it should just be the two of us. Solak can deal with the engineering side, and Vogel can be there to deal with anything else.
It is your away team mission, Commander. Perone does not
Sorry,
like
that
Perone does
wasn't in
not
character, by the way. Sorry.
Perone doesn't micromanage, so he handed the duty to you. He trusts you to get it done on your judgment.
All right, I think it will be the two of us.
The transporter technician will have instructions to keep those two on keep a transporter lock on those two at all times. And as you leave the bridge, Perone will tell you still have to keep your comm badge channel open so we can hear what's going on and know if we need to beam you back at it quickly.
Acknowledged.
And Perone would also remind you that you're on the clock with the Jemadar showing up.
Oh, does this mean that what's his name is piloting the ship? Um, Garal, Vogel's good friend Garal.
More than likely. Well, there's a couple pilots.
Commander, I am reading no atmosphere on board the probe.
Yeah, I think the last time before I should have reiterated this. We are taking environmental suits, tricorders, and weapons.
You have time to gather all of that stuff, but what type of weapons are you bringing?
Let's see, I think it's a phaser type 2. I think it is. Hold on. Yeah, phaser type 2.
Type 2.
And I will bring an engineering kit. And Vogel, is there something specific that you need to bring?
Just to get me caught up, what are we beaming to?
We're beaming to. Oh, go ahead.
To clarify, you're beaming towards a warp probe that was built during the 2250s ish, probably before that.
Okay, I remember now.
Yeah, it's in orbit around the planet. It is not in a fast decaying orbit, and we are looking to extract essentially the logs or the data from the probe, so that way we can send it back to the Navajo, so that we can analyze it. And the Romulans seem to have a problem with that.
Is there anything that might interfere with transport?
Well, the only thing that would interfere would be the dark matter nebula, but you're sort of in a bubble currently because you're within the system.
Okay, I can't think of anything Vogel would bring.
Are you sure you guys don't want to bring a security officer?
I guess we'll bring a security officer then. We'll bring Gig.
The captain can pick.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Since the captain's probably going to be playing it.
Well, let's see. Who do I want to bring? Do I feel rude enough to play a Tellurite? Sure, why not? I'll bring the Tellurite. And he's been activated before. Let's give him a
value.
Since I'm not hearing any suggestions.
Oh, did you want suggestions on a value?
Yeah, maybe I didn't have my my push.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry about that.
Unless there's suggestions, I was giving a value of my friends are too ugly to die.
That's good. That's good. I can't do anything better than that.
All right, then that's his value. For some reason, Price, I cannot make. I cannot add to his notes on that character sheet. Sheet's going funky on me.
I got it real quick for you. Oh.
Ooh, it goes really funky when I pop it out.
Well, I was in the process of editing it, and then it. Okay.
I added the value. I just didn't add I wasn't able to add the note that we added a value on second activation. And the ship is shaking.
Someone played the macro, I guess. I will worry about it later, I guess. All right. Is this your landing party? Any other instruments? Devices?
Environment. Yeah, I mean the security officer also should have an environmental suit. Phaser type 2. Communicator just like us. All that jazz.
I'll just drag the environmental suits.
Solak asked the engineer, is there gravity on board of the satellite?
Unknown. I would assume not.
Then
Chief.
I would suggest magnetic boots, which might be standard for environmental suits. I'm not sure.
The environmental suits cover that.
Then we're good.
I thought the ego of Vulcans would be enough to hold them down on the deck, sir.
I will pretend I did not hear that. What's your rank? Sorry, Lieutenant. I will pretend I did not hear that, Lieutenant. Are you ready, Chief?
Yes, sir.
Energize. That is a fantastic animation there. Solak taps his transporter comm and says, Solak to USS Navajo.
The narratively appropriate person on the bridge is Navajo here.
We have beamed onto the satellite in what appears to be a transporter room. We will begin to investigate the rest of the satellite. Stand by.
The captain asked me to remind you to keep your channel open.
Acknowledged. And Ensign Vogel, you may begin your scans.
Way ahead of you, Commander.
As the limited power on the probe you can see, when the indicator light starts flashing on the console.
This console right here?
Yes.
Okay. I'll let Vogel. Does Vogel need to do a roll to do the scans?
No, it just indicates that
Okay.
a transport is incoming.
Got it. It would seem that a transport is incoming. No doubt the Romulans. Greetings. I am Solak of the USS Navajo. This is Ensign Vogel, and this is Security Officer. How is it pronounced? Kratonch? Security Officer Kratonch.
These are no-name Romulans, so I'm trying to think of a name. Apologies.
I gotcha. Larry, Curly, and Moe.
Just about.
It's when you start looking at all the stuff in your room. What's the name? What's the name? look, a DVD case. Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah. What are the names of your cats and dog? You can do that.
I was fond of Larry, Curly, and Moe. If you just
but they're like spelled in like Romulan kind of thing, so it's like like Romulanese or whatever.
throw an apostrophe in there somewhere.
Yeah, just throw some commas and some apostrophes in there, an extra L.
I am Centurion Catholic on orders from my commanding officer.
Greetings, Centurion. I suggest that we begin with our work.
Indeed.
It would seem that this door here is the door to the next room. Ensign Vogel, if you please.
Aye, sir. And Vogel will open.
We are looking for what would seem to be the computer core of this satellite, so that we may extract the data. And very interesting. GM, is what we're seeing, accurate for like the time period and everything like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Consistent with old style design.
Is there any power signatures that might indicate where the computer core is?
Everything seems to be on. It looks like emergency lighting currently. So everything seems to be very limited. I mean, the probe has been out here in space for well over 100 years. So,
am I able to scan just like a general layout, mostly to get an idea of where potentially the core is?
We might be able to access the data from what looks to be the bridge of the satellite, which is in this direction.
It seems much bigger in here than it was on the outside.
Indeed. Certainly seems a little bit bigger than a runabout. I have never seen a design like this before. Almost as if it's a con station for an old-style starship. But I would have some idea, GM, as to sort of the general layout of this kind of satellite, wouldn't I? So would I be able to have a sense of what console I would need to access in order to, let's see, never mind, the power in the satellite is very low right now, right? It's on emergency lighting only. Are any of the panels in this bridge area illuminated or operating?
where you see lights is the parts that are illuminated.
Got it. I will sit down at this station and I will see if there is a way for me to either gain additional power or to access the data logs.
Yeah. So you want to do like a quick system diagnostic? See what is.
Yes.
Okay. Give me reason plus engineering difficulty 2.
I have a focus for that. Reason difficulty 2. Ooh, do I use a neural interface here? May I use a neural interface
There's no interface to really be had on this, unfortunately.
Got it. Well,
it's all push buttons and whatnot.
I'll use Costas Engineering then. And you said difficulty 2. I will give you a threat and roll 3 die with a focus.
Gain a momentum. As the computer starts kind of reading out, which takes a really long time, indicates that the ship has no atmosphere. There are several hull breaches in many of the corresponding deck rooms. Power reserves are at a minimum. Thrusters are offline, so it's unable to maneuver.
Move.
its communication array has been damaged. And has been unable to access the main computer core terminal.
It would seem that we are not able to access the main computer core terminal from this location. We will have to locate the computer core and extract the data from there. What's the station over here that Vogel is at? Do I have some indication of what the function of this station is?
It's auxiliary support.
Some support. It would seem that we have to locate the computer core, Ensign Vogel. Centurion, based upon my analysis here, the computer core is the only way that we will be able to extract the data that is necessary. Do you concur with this opinion?
Our sensors indicate that this probe has sustained heavy damage. Agreed. The systems may, or the information may be still locked in the computer core.
Assuming, of course, the core itself has not sustained damage, then we are unable to extract data. But we will only know that if we find it. And I gesture to the Centurion to move down the hallway so that we can begin our search. Vogel, are you able to do any sort of scan that would be able to locate the computer core so that we don't have to go through all of these various doors?
So that's what I was trying to do as soon as I got it.
Give me a reason plus engineering difficulty of 1.
Take a threat. Knowledge of small craft for a focus.
Sure.
Looks like you get a threat.
Down the hall, south, where I'm painting.
I have it on sensors, Commander.
Thank you, Ensign. Outstanding work. Could you ping it again one more time, GM?
Probably where the Romulans are.
Probably where the Romulans are.
I'm confused. I'm confused, Captain. I thought this was a probe. I did not expect it to be outlaid like a manned craft.
Life is full of unexpected events. And this indeed does look like an old-style computer core room. Solak will scan the room to see if he is able, if the core has sustained any damage.
You see holes in the hull. Like there's one point where you see like it almost looks like you can see stars, and then it kind of rotates and you see this big white globe, bright thing, and then disappear. Then back to stars.
So there's basically a hole in the hull, essentially. Well, that would determine then that there has been damage to this room. He wants to be able to hook his tricorder into the computer core and extract information.
Currently, there's no. It doesn't seem like there's power to the computer core.
With no power to the computer core, we will be unable to extract the information, unless, of course, we beam the actual computer core aboard the Navajo.
Surely we could reroute power somehow.
That is possible. In fact, I think that is.
What about the power supply in your engineering kit, Commander?
An excellent suggestion. And that is what I will do, GM. I will try to use the power supply in my engineering kit to hook it into the computer core so that it can gain power.
Control or daring engineering difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. I will use cautious engineering, and I will take the momentum and gain 3 die. And may I use a focus? I would say either repairs and maintenance.
I mean, you're not.
I'm restoring power.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. So 3 die with a focus, cautious engineering. There we go.
Gain 2. That particular panel starts turning near the mechanical, sort of
We're here.
machinery turning on.
So is it just this panel that's gaining
Yeah.
power, or is it all of them?
Just that panel.
Just that panel. Okay. With this panel now having power, I will connect my tricorder to it to extract information.
Do you like high or low?
Do I like high or low? Is that what you asked?
Yeah. Do you want?
I'm tall.
Do you want?
I'm tall, so I'll say high.
Okay. As the panel kicks on and you start downloading some data, it has data pertaining to some of. Kind of glancing at it as you're downloading the data. This is logs or sensor logs from the time when the probe entered the wormhole some 80 years ago.
This would seem to be the logs from the wormhole. From the probe entering, or the satellite entering the wormhole some 80 years ago. Most interesting. It would seem then, based upon this, that each of these devices here, these computer cores, contains information gathered by the satellite, and we would need to power each one and extract data from each one.
Some of these indicate ship system functions.
Which ones indicate ship functions?
The Roma says this one over here indicates that it is for thruster control and general propulsion.
Which one? The one here, or
Yeah.
the one? Okay, that
one
there.
Here.
So that's for thruster control. Any other panels that indicate ship functions?
Insight engineering difficulty 1.
Insight engineering 1. Just roll it. In terms of a focus, computers. Would you take that?
No.
Okay. Just roll it.
It seems like the 2 in the middle control ship functions. It's like thrusters, life support, sensor operation, stuff like that. And then the one up here is communications, which has a hole in the part of the computer itself.
Am I able to repair this this damage based upon my analysis or my observation of this hole?
No.
Am I able to extract any data drives or anything like that from this piece of equipment?
That handles like ship communications.
Just handles ship's communication, doesn't
Yeah.
store it, basically.
Yeah.
So basically, this one here, this one, and this one are functional, and the rest are databases, essentially, right?
Essentially.
Okay. Very well. Ensign Vogel, you seem to have an interest in the navigational controls of this satellite, correct?
Just curious on where it's been, Commander.
Well, the data logs would be able to determine that. The actual functioning controls would not be able to assist in that area. So, if you want to engage or uh, repair that panel in front of you, it would be to actually navigate the satellite, not extract data. In the meantime, I think we should continue to look through these various databases. He goes over here, takes his engineering kit with him, and I guess I'm doing the same thing. I'll try and restore power.
You only had the one battery.
So I have to unplug it then from this one and plug it into
Yeah.
that one, right? That's what well, I've extracted the data already from this one, correct? Into my
Correct.
tricorder. All right. So I will unplug the battery from this, and I will plug it into this one.
Perhaps our efforts would be better suited to try and return power to this area.
You mean through the engineering area of the satellite?
Precisely.
That is a good idea. Where is engineering on the satellite, Ensign Vogel?
I will check the scans I took. Seems to be toward the aft of the ship, Commander, if you'll follow me. I'm assuming this door?
I'm hesitant to restore power to the satellite.
I would be lying if I wasn't curious if we could get this ship running again.
All things are possible. Looks like this is the old school, or sorry, old style engineering station that was consistent with vessels of this time. Solok looks at this station to see if it is in operational readiness.
By looking at it, you can easily tell that the ship engineering section at least has appropriate enough power. Appears that the fusion reactors are still online and functioning. It just seems like, but you do see like there's a lot of warning lights displayed on the control panel.
And what is the engine status panel? I shouldn't say, yeah, I guess the engine status panel, yeah. What Vogel is recommending.
Inside engineering difficulty 1.
I'll probably roll that because I'm looking.
Go ahead.
You said insight engineering?
Yeah, in your case, you can use. Did they change it? I'm trying to remember the roll ability.
It says when you attempt an engineering test related to flight or propulsion, you may use your con instead of engineering.
Yeah, okay. Then yeah, you can use your con.
Ooh, then I'll give you a momentum for a reroll. The only focus I could think of is small craft. I'm not sure if that would still apply. That or helm ops, but I don't think.
I would think like propulsion systems.
Right, that I don't have. I'll be greedy and fish for one more.
Gain 1.
And it looks like I got a bonus.
It would appear that yes, some of the thrusters are damaged, but the warp nacelles do appear to be that they are operational and can be powered on. They haven't received too much damage.
With my bonus from my untapped potential, could I potentially also power back on the thrusters?
Yes, but it could. You run the risk of it causing an uncontrolled um,
Burn.
yeah, causing the decay to be worse. Or
But
throw you
the-
out into middle space too. One or the other. You don't know.
But then the thrusters will be operational, or is it just like a one kick type deal?
It's they'll be operational, but some of them could burn out because some of them have, even though some of them are functional, they are damaged. It would appear that like for at least from what you can tell, the ship or the probe took a sort of a beating when it got here.
What is your interest with the satellite's thrusters, Ensign?
Just in case, Commander, we ever needed, if we did need to get the engines operational, let's say this thing got caught into the sun's gravitational well and it's accelerated the descent and we were forced to get the engines going. I wanted to know if it was possible.
Understood. I think we should focus first on restoring power, so that way we can extract the data. But it is noteworthy that if the vessel should need to move, there is the potential that it can. So based
Plus,
on...
Commander, it'd be always cool to tractor this on board too. I'm sure some museum somewhere would love to have this.
Cool. It would be cool to tractor this on board the vessel. Interesting.
Perhaps a poor choice of words.
A phrase that I'm unfamiliar with. I take it means it's cool means it would be desirable, interesting, exciting for you if we were to take this satellite on board our ship. Is that an accurate understanding of the word cool?
In this case, Commander, very much so.
Ah, I see. Not relevant to what we are doing now, but interesting. He would know in a room like this, I would imagine, how to restore power. He saw the warning lights there before, GM. So he would know, or I think he'd have an understanding of what to work on first in order to restore power. Or do you need me to roll for that?
Well, restoring power is going to be
Extended.
not an extended task, but a relatively difficult task. Essentially, you have to bypass certain EPS conduits to get restore at least a lot of the main power, and you're not going to restore power to all of the ship systems.
I just want to restore power to the computer core.
Okay.
So if I want to do that, does that make the
No.
task? Okay. So it doesn't make it less difficult.
No, it doesn't.
All right. So to begin repairs, what would that task be? What would that difficulty be?
Daring plus engineering, difficulty of 5.
Interesting. I'm wondering if there is a way to decrease that difficulty.
The difficulty 5 was to power up this, correct?
To reroute, like there is power. It's just rewriting the power in such a way that it actually can power the computer core. essentially, bypassing certain areas that have lost function. Like those relays are damaged and it's not able to, pass the power through properly to the areas and the probe needs. So it's more of like going to the relay on the probe, popping it out, swapping it with another relay that's good, and then you know going about doing that way. It time wise, the Rumblings actually probably is close to being correct. Like it is probably faster to do it this way versus taking the
The
power by
battery.
the battery. And the issue with the battery is you run the risk of the battery depleting, and you're
Mhm.
not going to be able to continue that process.
Well, you have a pretty good engineering, Vogel. I think if you assist me, we might be able to do it.
Be happy to help, sir.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my talents here real quick. Well, I could use cautious engineering, obviously, and use momentum.
You use your determination already?
And I'm going to use my. I used my. Did I use my determination already? I used my determination last session, I believe.
That's fine. I don't.
Okay. Um, I guess the value is the question. Information is power. Would you accept that as the value for my determination?
That or mission directive.
That our mission directive. Okay. So it's difficulty 5. This is a repair and maintenance, so I can use that focus. With you helping me, I guess if I can get, I'll buy one die with threat and another die with. If I buy a second die with momentum, does that require 3 or 2? I can't remember, GM.
2.
2. So I'll buy one.
No, you buy your extra dice as normal. Because when you roll the d20, it's always or the determination spend, it's replacing one of the dice.
Got it. So 1, 2, 3. With Vogel and determination. I guess. Question is, should I have a 4th die?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Give
will.
him a threat into the 2 momentum.
That's what I was getting at. So I'll give you 1 threat for 1 die and 2 momentum for the other die, and I would still be able to use cautious engineering, correct?
Correct.
Right.
And when you roll, just set, since you're rolling 4 dice, just set to roll 3 and then click, using determination.
Got it. With a focus, using determination.
Or you could
So-
use my fancy task roller, and
I could use the fancy task roller.
you don't have to do that. And it just automatically rolls the first dice as one.
Please tell me again. It was daring, engineering,
Yes.
number of d20s,
4.
4 or 3.
But it's 4 because it will actually the mind will change the dice roller or the first dice to a natural 1.
I can't tell if it's not changing the number as I increase the scale. So I can't tell if I'm rolling 4 or 3 or
wait,
2.
are you using the NPC? Wait,
No, I'm using the
SDA task roller?
SDA 2E task roller. All right, now it's working. I got it now. So should I still roll 3 or 4? Sorry.
You roll 4.
Roll 4. There we go. Using determination, using a focus. It's no attack type, so it is daring and engineering. 4 die with a focus and determination.
Then set the difficulty to 5.
5. That's right. Sorry about that. Not the complication, the difficulty. Thank you. All right, I'm rolling the task. So 4 successes, 1 success. So 5.
And then you do have to reroll if you wanted to fish.
I'm gonna keep it. I don't want to roll a complication.
All right.
He's cautious.
Yeah. Okay. So you gain. So no momentum gained. On roll, but you do succeed. You manage to reroute power to the appropriate system. That also includes lights.
Excellent.
As the lights start, dimming up, and the ship hums a little bit back to life. But we're going to do a scene change here, and we're going to go back to the Navajo Bridge. Captain, we just we got a transmission from the listening post. It's detected the Dominion ships have entered the dark matter nebula.
Estimated ETA on the Jem'Hadar ships.
Judging by how long it took us, 3 hours.
Out of character, how long has the awaiting been going? Because I have in my notes that we had 8 hours before the Jem'Hadar showed up.
It took you a little bit of time to get there, so to your location, it's probably been about 4, so they might have picked up speed.
Very well, let's keep an eye on them. Let me know if they pick up speed or approaching our position faster than we anticipate.
Well, sir, we lost the contact when they entered the dark matter nebula.
Well, that is unfortunate. Give me a communications link, but give me a link to Commander Solak.
Hi, Captain.
Solok's comm is open, so Solok says, "Solok here, Captain."
Mr. Solak, that event we were anticipating is somewhere between 2 and 3 hours away.
Acknowledged. GM, is this in real time? Like the power has been restored to the satellite at this point?
Yeah.
We have restored power to the satellite, Captain, and we should be able to access the computer core momentarily.
Very good. Keep me updated.
Acknowledged.
I think Pearl's going to roll a hard 6 here and open a channel to the Romulan vessel, please.
Yes, Captain. Vogel's not there. Is everything all right, Captain Perone?
Oh, I think I forgot to hit my push talk button. I'll start over. Uh, Major Terrell, our sensors indicate that a few Jem'Hadar vessels have just entered the nebula. Wanted to let you know in case you were not aware.
Thank you for the information. Hopefully, we'll be done with this and we both can leave this place.
Last report I got from my away team is they have restored power to the probe. Have your team had any luck accessing the databanks on the probe?
Not yet, but with your officers restoring power, I am assured that it won't take much longer.
Understood. Well, I will encourage my crew to work with all alacrity. Not all of us have cloaking devices and the ability to hide, but I would remind you that the. Oh, hold on, that was out of character stuff. I don't think does the Federation know that the Dominion can see through the cloaks.
Yes, they know.
I would remind you that the Jem'Hadar have an annoying habit of being able to see through your cloaking devices. It is probably best if we are both gone when the Jem'Hadar ships arrive.
Agreed. Let's hope not our away teams do not waste important time.
Agreed. Well, that's all I had for you, Major. I wanted to give you an update on the information about the Jem'Hadar. Please let me know if your sensors pick up anything that we have not.
I will inform you if once we detect them.
Thank you, Major Terrell. It's a pleasure talking to you. Navajo out.
Communication closes.
Well, Lieutenant Rye, do your best to locate and keep a track on those Jem'Hadar ships. I understand it's going to be next to impossible, but keep looking anyway.
Hi, sir.
And since he's been listening onto Commander Solak's communications channel, he's curious. Does he wants to go back to look at the file that Rye had found about or Vogel had found about this probe? Was this probe supposed to be manned, or to have look at the schematics that we might have for it? Did it have a setup to where it could be manned?
Yes, it has a setup, but there's no living quarters. So it's more like they scratched what they could together and built the probe and then launched it. I don't know if you heard me, but yeah, there's no living quarters on the probe. But there is like a bridge where they can do some basic operations on it and have pre-program all the flight data and stuff like that, and then launch the probe for its automated mission.
Okay, I just wanted to the player wanted to check because it was a little surprised to see a transporter room on a probe.
Well, they have to get off and on, so
Understood. I was expecting something. I had different expectations. Now I don't. Now I've changed them.
I mean it's roughly the same size as an Archer class ship, so
Well, that's bigger than a runabout.
Yeah, it's slightly bigger than a runabout. It's still scale 2. It's smaller than the Archer class and bigger than a runabout. That's where it sits in the size category.
Got it.
Thank you. But yeah, keep trying to keep an eye on the Romulans and reminding Commander Solak that we're on a tight timetable. I can't think of anything else Perone wants to do other than keeping. Hopefully, maybe Rye will get lucky and notice the incoming ships. And just in case those guys surprise us, I will also have the Tellarite at the navigation table to find us a place to hide in case it becomes necessary.
Are you going to play Geralt, Vogel?
If need be.
Okay. I want to hear your Tellarite.
So what is he doing?
Just wanted to find us a place, if you can find us a place to hide in case the Jem'Hadar show up much faster than we anticipate them and we need to hide.
Captain, a Jem'Hadar vessel has appeared on the far side of the nebula. It is on intercept course.
Very good, Lieutenant. Give us your best estimate on when they'll arrive. I know it took us 3 hours, but see if you can get us a better. See if you can work us up a better estimate than maybe they'll take as long as we did, and try to track them the best you can.
Captain, they'll be here in 20 minutes.
That is much faster than we anticipated. Perone will hit the appropriate button on his chair. Commander Solak.
Solak here.
We have 20 minutes.
Acknowledged.
Send that same message to the Romulan Warbird, please.
They acknowledge. Okay, we're gonna go into like intervals for this part. So each interval will count as essentially 1 minute. So you have a total of 20 intervals. So we'll head back over to the warp probe, where you guys are going to get a lovely extended task.
All right. Back into the computer core.
The Romulans seem to be focused on this one particular console. He guys says, "Thank you, Commander Solak."
You are welcome. This console seems to have some interest to you.
Yes, we believe the data that we wish to acquire is on here. We will purge this data bank shortly. Good luck.
Very well. You will permit me, of course, to access this database so that I may extract before you purge.
You cannot access database. That was not agreed upon with your captain.
This is Federation property. The database in this entire area belongs to the Federation. all data in here is to be extracted. Those are my orders. And just to double check, GM, those are my orders, correct?
You have to double check with Perone there, but I believe that wasn't the case.
Okay. What were the orders, Captain?
Perona made a deal with the Romulans that we would let them delete the stuff, the recent stuff about this system.
The recent stuff about the system. Okay.
Yeah, because Perona's working on a hunch that the Romulans do have a base in this system, and they don't want us or the Dominion to know about it.
Okay. So it was all right for them to delete that data.
We should at least be able to verify that that's the data, the recent data that our captain agreed to the erasure of.
Well, it seems that that's what they're doing here. So to verify that, I would need to actually scan it. So he says to the Centurion, to verify that this is the actual data that you are interested in purging, I would need to scan it. That was permitted by both of our commanding officers.
I'm sorry, I cannot allow you to do that.
How am I to know then that you are extracting data that was agreed upon if I don't know if this is the panel for that? It has to be confirmed. It is only logical.
And then you would have access to the data.
I can assure you that I will not access the data. In fact, if you want, we could use your tricorders to verify it.
I've
The Vulcan
already,
is really a polite conversation, but that seems like a good deal.
Sorry, for a second I thought that was the captain. that was the Tellarite.
Yeah.
He just sort of looks at your security officer as if like, I don't need your validation there. He looks back at the Romulan Centurion and says, Centurion, is that an agreeable arrangement to you?
it is not.
It is illogical then.
You will have to just trust us, Commander Solak.
Trust is something that must be earned. I do not know you, and trust amongst Romulans is in short supply.
I assure
Or, sorry,
you,
trust.
it is in both interests of both parties that no one looks at this data.
Hmm. What if we were able to confirm only dates? It's my understanding that it is only the recent data that you wish to purge. Is that correct?
I assure you, these are the most recent dates.
Then show. I would like to see the date. I would like to see the dates of the data here. Not the data itself, only the dates.
All right, I'm going to give you a roll. Just keep in mind this is going to use up 2 intervals.
2 intervals, which would be 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
He knows that we're on a time schedule here. The Romulans are resistant. Two intervals would be, and 2 intervals out of 20 minutes is 18 minutes left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would have essentially 18 intervals left.
Yeah, give me the roll.
This is an opposed roll.
Sure.
So he rolls first. I'll throw a threat at it. Why not?
Why not?
Your difficulty is 2.
Okay. What is my role?
Presence command.
Presence command. Difficulty 2. I don't think I've got any focuses for that. I'll just roll it. Yeah.
Gain a momentum. Very well. He extends his tricorder to show you the dates.
And the dates show me what?
Recent start date, roughly, actually 2 months ago.
Very good. Thank you, Centurion. My apologies for doubting you. And I hand the tricorder back to him.
Hey,
Sorry, go ahead.
he just nods and then like kind of nods towards the other 2 Romulans to continue their work.
Solok will begin using his tricorder to try and extract the data from the other data cores. Does he need to hardwire that in, or can it just be
no.
done now that there's power?
This is an extended task and to try like
Okay.
as you kind of look at the drive, like a lot of some of it is fragmented.
Mhm.
And you have to sort of like kind of rebuild and repiece some of the data as it's being pulled in, or else it just all go into a giant corruption nightmare and you won't
Mhm.
get any of the data. So this is going to be a control or daring engineering plus, controller or controller daring plus engineering, difficulty of 4, work 24, magnitude 3, resistance of 2.
So, Ensign Vogel, would you like to assist me?
Yeah, I'll assist. I am mobile, so if any rolls I need to do, just someone roll them for me.
I got you.
All right. I will use your fancy roll here. I will buy a momentum. I will eat a momentum to buy an additional die. I will use cautious engineering. And would you accept computers as a focus?
Sure.
Okay. This, you're going to help me. You said difficulty 4?
Yes.
Right. Cool. Dice with a focus roll. I will re-roll that complication.
All right. So far you're at 2 successes.
With the focus difficulty 4, just making sure. Sometimes it resets the attribute and the discipline.
Yeah, it does that because
Yeah.
it's not a
Yeah.
fuse in the roller.
Right, and task. Okay. So 3. And then Vogel. Can Vogel use con instead of?
No.
Okay.
I rolled for Vogel. Vogel got a comp.
Okay.
You can succeed at cost. I'll take that comp.
We'll
That's
succeed
right.
at cost.
All right. Currently, you are doing 3 work. In terms for the complication, this will eat up an extra interval.
Okay.
So you
So we
currently.
have 17,
No, you're at 15.
15. Okay. And we have 3 work out of how much again?
Uh, you have 21 work left.
21 work left. Okay. All right. We'll try it again. It is engineering, control engineering. I'll give you 1 threat. then I'll have an additional die with a focus. Do you want me to use, by the way, the task roller for this?
You could use whichever
that-
roller you want.
Whichever one. Okay, I didn't know which was easier for you.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
The other one just displays more information.
More success there.
Nothing from Vogel.
Vogel.
So you succeed. That is currently 3 work.
3 works. So we're 6 out of 20.
24.
So
You're
out
down.
of 20.
You have 12 intervals
18
left.
Yeah, and we have 12 intervals left.
Yep.
Okay. Guess take another threat. Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's just no progress on this, which eats up 2 intervals.
So we're at 10 left.
10 left, unless you wish to. Let's see if another way to reroll that.
I don't think I have anything to allow for a reroll. Does Vocal need to roll for untapped potential with any of these assists?
It succeeded a task, and when they bought 1 or more dice, so they have to be the main roller.
They have to be the main roller. Got it. Okay. Could I use testing a theory? I guess there's no theory here to test. I'm just
Yes.
extracting. I could? Because I was
Yes.
successful before. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll use testing a theory.
You have to give me
Uh,
on this roll.
do I have to give you something? Sorry.
If you wish to buy additional dice, you will have to give me. It costs because that's like you're purchasing the 4th dice. Since you're
Yeah.
getting
So
that
the
one.
so the first one is free essentially. So that would give me 3,
Yeah.
and then if I wanted to purchase a 4th one, that would be 2 threat, right?
Correct.
Okay. Then I'll do that.
You might want to consider giving them all 5 because you are kind of struggling in this one a bit.
Yeah, I guess I will. So we'll do all 5.
You also get 2 bonus momentum when you succeed.
Okay.
So because the theory into practice. So just remember that next time.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So rolling 5 die. So that gives you, I think, 5 threat, I believe. And so 5 die with a focus. Of course, a complication. Do I get to re-roll a complication because of that?
Don't think so.
You may also re-roll 1d20 related to that hypothesis. If you created a trait that represents a hypothesis about an unknown phenomenon, so I don't have that.
Yeah, you don't have that part.
I don't have that. So I don't think I have anything that can re-roll that 20. Thanks, Vogel.
You did gain a momentum, which is 3 work. You do have the 2 bonus momentum. So you could use that to add an extra work or create some sort of advantage.
I could use that to create.
You can create, you can create a trait with the 2 bonus
Yeah.
momentum related to the task, or you could use it to spend an extra work, or you could spend 1 to lower the intervals, since you have 8 intervals left and you have a lot of work left to do.
Then I'll use 1 to lower the interval.
Okay.
And don't you have 2 bonus momentum too?
That's the bonus momentum he's spending.
By the way, in the future, never let the GM roll for Vogel.
I thought Rye was gonna roll. But I thought you had 2 bonus and you gained a momentum. Did you use it on?
Well, if you want to spend that momentum plus your leftover bonus, you can do the extra work or create a trait.
I will do the extra work.
But you could also try to create a trait to lower the difficulty because Diff 4 is kind of tough.
Yeah, I could do that. Okay, then I'll create a trait to lower the difficulty. I'll do that.
What kind of, you need to flavor the trait here.
So, because he's becoming more familiar with how these computer cores work with the more work that he's doing, that familiarity allows him to increase the speed and the efficiency that he's able to extract the data.
Okay. All right, so you're at 0 momentum, and the difficulty is now 3.
Right. And how many intervals do we have left?
9.
We have 9. And how much work do we have left to do?
You're not even at halfway yet, so you've currently done 9 work.
9 work out of 20. I'm not feeling this, everybody.
Hypothetically, if he doesn't get it all, does that mean he failed the entire task, or does he get what he gets?
He gets what he gets.
So we don't lose everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
The
Just don't
extent
get
test.
everything.
Yeah, the extended test is to represent how much of the data you're collecting through the data in the data banks on the probe.
That's all right. We don't need.
Or you
everything.
could stay and risk fighting the Gemini for the data.
How many intervals do we need to beam the away team back and get the hell out of Dodge?
Well, it costs 2 intervals to beam the away team out, and that's doesn't necessarily. Then you need another 2 to get the hell out of Dodge, so 4 intervals.
Commander Solik, I'll be beaming you back in approximately 2 minutes.
Understood, Captain. I'll try one more task here. I will give you one more threat. I'll give you 3 threat, and I'm going to roll 4 die.
Or I guess I should have said 4 minutes.
I'm going to spend some of this thread here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm upping your complication to 3. So complication range is 3 for this roll.
Is 3. Great. Die with a focus. Yay.
There is a comp. Gain 2 momentum, plus you have the 2 bonus. That's 3 work there. Is Vogel still? Am I still rolling for Vogel?
It won't let me roll.
Yeah, the sheet's locked. That's what. Yeah, thought.
Go ahead, GM.
Hey, look.
Hey, you got a success.
There's another
Finally.
momentum for you.
Yay. How much work did that complete?
3 more. Yeah, you do have
Plus-
the
2 bonus momentum, right?
Yes.
All right, from theory into practice.
Cost 2 momentum to do an extra work or extra impact.
I'll use the bonus momentum for the extra impact.
Do you wish to lower the intervals by 1?
I will lower the interval by 1. And that costs 1 momentum, or what?
1 momentum. For this case, though, since you have the complication, this was gonna cost you 3 intervals. But it's gonna end up costing you 2, so you're gonna be a total of 7 intervals left.
7 intervals left. Okay. We will go again.
Good news is getting easier since you get the first breakthrough, so the resistance goes down by 1 because this is getting a little bit easier because you got through all the corruption data.
So we're past the halfway point, basically.
Yes.
Okay. We'll try one more. All right, I'll use testing a theory again. I'll buy a die with momentum.
It is spend 2
2.
because you get the free dice.
4. Yeah, free die. That's right. So I'll use both the momentum. So that brings me up to 4. What's the complication range?
Complication range is 2.
It's 2. The focus. I'm loving the complications tonight. This is great.
What can I say? 16's the magic number for me tonight.
I think you've rolled like 5 16s in a row or something
Yes,
like that.
almost. So currently that is 1 momentum gained. You are doing 4 work. You have the 2 bonus and the complication.
I can use 1 to lower the interval, correct?
Yes.
And what was the other option? It was to...
It costs 2 to do extra work. 2 momentum to do extra work.
Then I'll use the 2 bonus to do extra work. And what does that put us at for remaining work?
So you spend your momentum. So you have 0 momentum, by the way. Because that's going to cost you 3 momentum to do all that. That puts you at 19 work out of 24.
19 out of 24.
But as for the complication, it's still going to be unlocking at interval 2, so that puts you at 5 intervals left.
5 intervals left. I think that gives us 1 more shot before we have to beam out of here, because it takes 2 intervals to beam out, correct?
Yes, 2 to beam out. We need 4 intervals to both beam out and get out of here.
Then I would say I think we're done. So Solak contacts the captain and says, Captain, we've reached the danger threshold here. We've extracted as much information as we possibly can. We could attempt 1 more attempt, but we run the risk of not having enough time to escape the Jem'Hadar.
Well, let's not push our luck. Stand by for beam out.
All right. Someone needs to roll for your transporter operator.
Let Rye do that. She hasn't rolled tonight yet.
Yeah, I believe that is Elliot Cox. It's your transporter chief. Which he gets, since he's being activated, you can actually get to give him something, but it will be a control plus engineering assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering. As I forget the difficulty, I believe it's just 1. But I'm going to double check real quick.
Did you not have a reroll for that complication?
I don't think I did.
I thought you bought it using momentum.
Yeah, but I wasn't using cautious engineering.
But
You
used
always
momentum,
have, if you
right?
use momentum, you always have cautious
Yeah.
engineering. When you
Oh,
have
okay. Yeah, then I guess I could have re-rolled that. I'm sorry.
Just because if we get that interval back, you know.
It's up to you, GM, whether you want to go back and let me re-roll that.
Well, hold off for the rolling real quick.
Sure.
I guess go ahead and roll it. There is a complication. The complication range is 2, so for that task. So if you want
So
to
that
try and
re-roll?
if you want to try and re-roll that comp.
Sure. Comp 2. Focus.
Like, were you not re-rolling any of your complications with
He didn't
momentum?
have momentum for a lot of the rolls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Trying to halfway pay attention and drive, you know.
So yeah, that gave us success, and we got rid of the comp.
Well, then you have 6 intervals, and then you got 1 momentum.
6 intervals, 1 momentum. That's still pretty close, Captain.
You're still at like 19 out of 24, right?
Yeah.
I would risk it for the biscuit, but that's me.
So Solak will report to the captain. There is potential. We have the potential to extract the remainder of the data, but the timing is quite close, Captain.
Get what you can.
Okay. I will try one more roll.
But definitely spend that momentum on an extra die just in case.
Yeah, I'm doing that. And testing a theory. So that puts me at no. I can't use. It would have to be.
You can use both.
You could use both.
Uh-huh.
You just got to give them one threat.
You have to give me
One
threat.
threat.
Yes.
That's it. Right. So 4 die with a focus, and the complication range is still 2.
Yes, because I just spent threat to up it. So.
Okay. Problem.
Is this control or daring or just daring?
Control or daring engineering.
Oh, Vogel finally got some successes. Yay!
That's because I rolled it this time.
You rolled it. There we go.
You should fish though on that 18.
I'll fish for it.
Come on, complication.
Make sure the comp is 2. There you go.
So wanted to be a 20.
I know you did.
3 momentum. You're currently doing 4 work.
Plus we have 2 bonus.
Hold it
All
right there though. Because you hit the threshold for the second already through the second breakthrough, the impact is up by +2, so that completes the actual work track.
Yay!
You're able to collect all the data that was in the database.
How many intervals did that eat up?
That's going to eat up 2. That puts you at 4 intervals left.
Okay.
Use one of your bonus to cut it.
So you're at 5 with that.
Mm-hmm.
Transporter room. Bring the away team home.
One sec.
Make sure you take the Tellarite as well.
Do I need to re-roll? Because I'm not seeing the roll anymore.
Because they decided to go back.
Oh, so do I need to re-roll?
You have to roll again, but hold on. I'm double checking the actual difficulty before I tell you the.
Do your thing, that's fine.
All right. Control plus engineering. Assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering difficulty of 1. Because you're not on a pad. Don't forget, the ship rolls 2 dice. So you gain currently 1 momentum. Just need the ship.
And I'm sorry, what did the ship roll again?
Sensors engineering. And it rolls 2 dice.
Job, ship. Job, ship. Ship blows up.
We still succeeded.
Yes, it's going to eat up 3 intervals.
The ship is just scared. It's fine.
We use the momentum gain to cut it by 1.
So that will put you at 3 intervals left. And out.
That is so cool.
Very cool.
And I will order the guy at the helm to get us out of the system on the route that I had him plot a little while ago.
Sorry, I swear I'm better prepared for that. Guys, it means a whole bunch of people.
Duplicated us. There's an evil Solak and a good one.
Succeeded.
That's the
Okay.
complication, guys. No.
I'm sorry, I can't handle 2 gigs. I just can't do it.
All right. Before they get to the bridge, he's not there.
I just moved him. I was jumping the gun there.
I need a roll to try and get out, to warp away. I'm assuming you are. This will actually use a reserve power, but we're not going to worry about that. So yeah, give me a control plus control con. Let's make this actually a difficulty. I'll do it that way.
And
Difficulty 3, complication range of 2. Assisted by the ship's engines con. So diff 3, comp 2.
what can we use momentum for the NPCs?
Yes.
We're
And an
activating them today,
an
right?
assist from the brilliant leadership of Captain Perone, right?
You have 1 assist for free. Any other further assist cost a momentum.
Not counting the ship, right? So we get the ship, it will be 1.
Yeah, not counting the ship, but yeah.
Should we give them bold con today?
You know, I think we should. He would be a bold con guy. Who came up with his value? His value is hilarious.
What does bolt do?
It lets
allows
you
you
reroll when you
to-
spend threat.
Yeah. Okay. Just for the activation, let me note the date. Okay. Would you? Oh, somebody rolled them.
Yeah, but I get a reroll. So hold on a second.
Oh, you're okay.
That's 3 successes.
All right, gain a momentum. As you head at maximum.
Hold on, I need to roll for the ship.
Captain did it.
Oh.
Oh wait,
No,
no.
you didn't.
No,
I
he
thought
just
he rolled
rolled.
for himself.
He rolled his assist. Yeah, the ship does need to roll.
I'll grab the ship. I'm here.
Okay.
Engines con, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
As the Navajo, and just as the nick of time, as a Jemadar attack fighter comes out of warp, ready to engage the Navajo, warps away, with the Romulans not in sight, as you do a straight run through the dark matter nebula.
Well done, Ensign Corral. Looks like you got us out of there in the nick of time. Just like in those old Earth movies where they disarmed the bomb with 1 second left on the clock. We did well. Lieutenant Rye, I assume once Solak gets back on the bridge with the data from the probe, you're gonna be quite anxious to get your hands on that.
Yes, sir. Back down.
Here is the data from the satellite, Lieutenant.
Thank you, Commander.
Captain, we were able to extract all data, though it did come at the very last moment.
Well, I'm glad we didn't give up early. Well done, Commander.
Thank you,
too,
sir.
Vogel.
Thank you, sir. Too bad we couldn't save the probe while we were at it.
Yes, indeed. It would have been interesting to study it from an engineering standpoint.
Well, certainly. I just hope there was nothing on the probe that would be of benefit to the Dominion.
There was certainly something on it that was of high interest to the Romulans.
I suspect that the Romulans have a hidden listening outpost or some sort of base there in the system. They didn't want us to know about it. That's why didn't want to push about getting all that information from them. Romulans like their secrets. Sometimes you have to let them have one or two, or at least let them think they have one or two.
A very logical conclusion, Captain. For being Romulans, they were most agreeable. Professional would be the way that I would describe them.
I've always found the Romulans to be professional and dedicated to duty, though they are a sneaky bunch at times.
Yes, their emotion holds them back.
One might say that their emotional attachments give them a greater sense of duty than, say, those who can make unemotional attachments and maybe are not as well bonded to certain ideals as others.
If you are suggesting that Vulcans are not bound to certain ideals, you would be incorrect. We are bound to several ideals. The Romulans use emotion as their way of dealing with certain situations. They are often treacherous and do not trust others, and therefore act in devious ways. This is as a result of their emotional attachment to whatever it is that they are, I believe the term is, hung up on.
Reasonable evaluation, Commander, though it would surprise me if the Vulcans have never been covert about anything in their own way.
Vulcan history has shown a certain sense of unnecessary subversion, to say the least. There is no perfect race, Captain. Only perfect intentions.
And Ensign Vogel, what did you think of our Romulan partners in this endeavor?
I didn't get much interaction with them, and this is the first time I've ever met one. They seemed very stubborn in their mission orders.
That is to be expected.
So that's expected from anybody, not just Romulans.
I guess maybe I got the sense that they were very rigid. Perhaps not able to adapt quickly.
They pride themselves on their duty.
Exactly. Similar to how Vulcans are very rigid in their adherence to logic. Two sides of a same coin, perhaps.
Possibly. It would be interesting to know how much of a Romulan presence is in the Gamma Quadrant, and whether or not the base or outpost that you theorize, Captain, is fully functional, and if the Dominion will ever discover it.
Well, for one, I'm brooding for the Romulans to remain undetected. I'm not sure how probable that is, though. Really depends on how the Jem'Hadars have been able to pierce the Romulan cloaking field.
The Jem'Hadar have proven themselves most adaptive.
Now, speaking of the adaptive Jem'Hadar, Ensign Vogel, set us a course for the wormhole. Let's head back to our side of the galaxy for a while.
Aye, sir.
And GM, I checked to see if the listening array is still transmitting data that we posted. It's just a check-in.
It is. However, it would seem that 3 Dominion ships, it's detected that 3 of the Dominion vessels have stationed themselves outside, or moved out of the nebula and stationed them out yourself outside the nebula. It's almost as if they're waiting for you.
So 3 Dominion. So we're still in the nebula. 3 Dominion ships have placed themselves outside of the nebula, waiting for us to leave the nebula. That's what you're saying. I relay that information to the captain.
It's interesting that they may be able to that their sensors are doing a better job of penetrating the nebula than ours. Let's test that theory. Vogel, alter our course to keep us away from the Dominion on our way out of the nebula.
Aye, sir.
So for this, we're gonna. This will be essentially intervals, because the longer you stay in the nebula, the more risk of your surges or the power surges to happen. So theoretically, you have 8 hours. We'll just go with 16 intervals. Uh, essentially, one interval represents 30 minutes. So, um, essentially, you're trying to maneuver yourself so you can escape their detection. I'm assuming, trying to when you pop out.
Yep. Yeah, trying to make the course unpredictable and whatnot.
Okay. So give me controller daring con assisted by the ship's engines. Con. This will be opposed. You are setting the difficulty uh, for this.
Can I use my determination precision in every maneuver?
Sure.
And I'll use 2 momentum. Oh wait. 1 threat, 2 momentum. I forgot I still have to buy the dice.
How many dice are you rolling?
It'll be 4 total with the determination.
Okay, yeah.
Comp range and normal. We still have a momentum though. We had 3.
Yeah, comp range is normal.
All right, here goes nothing.
Just to make this harder on the Romulans, I had President's Command assist. Perone will tell Vogel. I've been telling everyone in the I've been bragging to everyone in the quadrant that I have the best helmsman in the area. Make sure you let's see you prove it. That's so I can use inspiration as a focus. Is that agreeable with the GM?
Sure.
Huzzah!
Make this
Dang.
impossible for me, guys. Man.
You should oppose it. I make the difficulty.
I know. Oh, the hell. I will spend the threat to have an extra assist on this.
I do technically have 2 bonus momentum too.
So close. um. Yeah, you guys gain 2 momentum.
I do have 2 bonus momentum. Can I create a trait with my 2 bonus that I put us at the edge of the nebula, like really close to the wormhole?
That's kind of where they were staging up at. Wasn't that prime spot to try to like ambush you when you popped out?
Is there any other rolling happening, or was that it?
Well, I just rolled for them, so I mean, currently this is using an hour's worth of intervals inside the nebula.
Okay. I guess just use one of the bonus to cut the interval then.
Okay. You precisely maneuver the ship to a position to where you're not going to get ambushed. In fact, it seems like because they have a complication. I'll just say you technically have a reduce. Their difficulty is increased by 1, trying to follow you.
Works for me. Can I use my other bonus and 1 momentum to increase the potency of that?
Yeah.
Then let's do that.
You're essentially technically roughly about 2 hours and 30 minutes still within inside the nebula that you need to get out. But yeah, you're so far like they have a harder time getting to you, so you've kind of gained some time frame to poke it out. So if you just want to exit the nebula and then try to make a run for towards the wormhole, you can now, or you can try position yourself better to where they will lose you entirely.
Let's go the have them lose us entirely route.
Okay, well, you're rolling again. Same roll. Same the difficulty. It's post.
All right. I will give you a threat and the 2 momentum. And yeah, I'll just roll.
Yeah.
Just need captain and ship.
Go ahead and roll for the ship.
Come on, complication.
You got the ship right. Yeah. No ship.
Yeah, sorry.
This is the impossible task.
What is it, like a diff 9 for
It's
you
a
with
diff
all
9.
the crazy?
Yeah. You're just gonna get momentum out the wazoo for this. Solo 1. Well, it gained 5 momentum. Yeah, you could just spend 2 if you want for the advantage that that you've lost them.
Yep, I'll use my... Oh, wait, I gotta roll for untap.
Oh, yeah, roll that.
Get your threat.
Yay!
I'll use my 1 bonus and a momentum to do that.
Okay.
The bonus comes from flight controller.
So we're just not going to worry about the intervals. After a matter of time, Vocal, you've expertly maneuvered the Navajo in a way that, as the Dominion forces try to follow you, with their reduced sensor activity, that's essentially essentially they lost their. Sorry, brain not firing all cylinders. You expertly lost them, and you're able to effortlessly, escape towards and enter the Bajoran wormhole, revealing to where you're back on the other side in the Alpha Quadrant.
Excellent job, everyone. Set course for DS9. Let's see what Starfleet has, so we can see what Starfleet has for us next.
Indeed, impressive flying, Ensign.
Thank you, sir. After the Badlands, flying in that nebula was a breeze.
Like I said, best helmsman in the quadrant.
I will endeavor to live up to your expectations, Captain.
Poor Vogel's setting herself a really high bar there too.
I blame the captain.
That's fair. I'll take that. I'll take the blame for that.
Yeah, so what are you guys doing? You have the probe data. You're back at DS9. Your mission is complete. Listening post is operational. And you managed to avoid all combat.
Not a bad day's work. Nobody got killed. Nobody got hurt.
Yeah, we should have Lieutenant Rye have a look at that data.
Yeah.
Captain will file his report with Starfleet. Their listening post is up.
The data on the probe contains essentially flight navigation logs of its trajectory, a bunch of sensor readings on several different planets in the Alpha Quadrant before it entered the Bajoran wormhole on accident as it was flying through that sector of Bajor. The probe kind of wandered, being lost a little bit in the Gamma Quadrant before it got trapped in the Dark Matter Nebula and ended up in the system some 50 years ago.
Did it get any scans or information of any worlds in the area when it was doing its wandering?
None that you don't already have data on, except for that system. But you managed to collect some data from it with your own sensors.
Is there, using the data from our own sensors and the probes, can we determine how that kind of bubble in the middle of the nebula was possible?
Seems to be natural formation.
Cool. Well, then I got nothing.
It would seem the data that was most interesting was the data that the Romulans had purged.
That's possible. That's going to be up to that's going to be a privy of the diplomats to get that out of the Romulans. Like I said, we can let them have their secrets.
Indeed. Was there any data that we were able to get regarding the dark nebula, GM? Like
I
scientific data?
mean, no, considering the sensors are more antiquated than your own.
And we did discover that there were planets within that nebula.
Yeah, it might be interesting to go back there someday. It's an unusual place for there to be a planetary system.
Indeed. Though I imagine if we do, there might be a very strong Romulan presence.
I wouldn't bet any money against it. I think you'd get better odds at course Dabo tables.
Ah, yes. Dabo tables. Very interesting.
Is there anything else you guys wish to do?
No, unless Starfleet has something right away for us to do. Perona go fishing, but other than that, nope, not for me anyway.
I think Solak was going to attempt a baked Alaska. But that's it. I think Solak's done.
All right. With that, I think we could bring the session to a close.
Yay!